answer complaints, press 1.
We don't need to see morons, stoners on TV when you can actually be educating people. Educate people! I thought Viceland was, oh, finally, you're going to be a great TV station that would educate people. And you've gone backwards. Morons. Whoever is please, moronic. Don't be that dumb. I love watching your station up until now. Tonight, it's just so disappointing. I mean, it's... Wow, man. I don't know whether I want to watch Viceland again. If you're going to come up with this shit.
Had to get the last bird noise, didn't you?
This is the beginning of a new time, man. Where is my? I tell you, everybody got a belief. That's amazing. Ancient aliens is pretty much the best thing that was ever created by man. Traveling the stars. Saxon Bronson, ancient aliens. For a limited time only.
What is this episode about?
Alien tech.
Anything else?
Alien technology.
Pew pew lasers. Sonic booms. Cyborgs.
Something wrong with this kid.
Rockets. Hurling space probes deep into the cosmos. Sound waves. Compelling solid objects to float in midair. Laser beams. Vaporizing targets with pinpoint accuracy.
Big Body is back. Ladies and gentlemen, to the viewer watching at home, Fascinating is back. Light it, smoke it.
How could they have had these advanced weapons that we've only just acquired ourselves today?
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings.
Yo, I'm stuck.
Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And did mankind's cutting-edge technology spring from our imagination? Or could it have come from a source much farther away?
Yeah, I'm interested in this one. No, for real.
It's the same intro every time, dogs.
No, I'm interested in this episode, though, because that's what I said. Where did we get fiber optics?
Oh, I like that question.
Where did we get all this computer shit?
Oh, I like that one, too.
I'm serious.
I know.
I wonder.
You're right. The iPhone always has a new one.
Like, where did we get all this technology?
In the early morning hours of November 5th, 2005, the luxury cruise ship, the Seabourn Spirit, found itself under attack by pirates in the waters off the coast of Somalia.
Pirates.
But the Somali bandits were successfully repelled by...
That's why I don't go swimming in Rockaway. Gotta watch out for pirates. Yeah.
Along with an acoustic device, or LRAD.
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 Corporation.
It's really pronounced LRAD.
Focused on
Like,
It could be a rapper.
piercing sound that can exceed 150
Skater.
Sonic weapons in Iraq. They're used in crowd control.
There's a fly who's just on top of one of your rigs right now.
Person that make you feel sick.
See it? No, it's gone.
is currently used by law enforcement, the military, and private security, and is considered the ultimate in sonic weaponry.
You ever heard one of those, buddy?
Nah, I haven't. Nah.
They set off like a sound wave.
I have. They set that off? They did that shit to me in Portland. For real? Try to hit you with the sound shit. They tried to grab the joint out of my mouth, so I gave him a good shove. I remember that one. And then he said, hit the sound, bro. And he hit the shut the up. He hit the sound, and it was gonna do.
Into the mic.
Yeah.
You have two mics. So your face that they're not going to see?
Too much.
Really, 21st century.
Too much tech.
You're turning into a Christmas tree.
That similar, or is there evidence that similar audio weapons existed in ancient times? Approximately 17 miles northeast of Jerusalem lies the ancient ruins of the city of Jericho. Here, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of settlements dating back to 9000 BC. According to the Hebrew Bible, Jericho is believed to be where God spoke to Joshua, the successor to Moses.
Hello? Yo, what up? And I can't wait to hug you. There's my brother Vince Staples on the phone, you pieces of shit. Yo, I love you. You're the man. I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
Peace. I like that kid so much. Really, he's a great dude. He's so much smarter than a lot of people. Really, he's a great dude.
In the scriptures, we have a fascinating story about the fall of the walls of Jericho. Armies were told to circle the wall repeatedly and then finally blow their horns, and down came the walls. And we know there was a powerful presence, the Ark of the Covenant. This sacred item was with them at all times.
To most modern-day scientists and historians, the destruction was most probably caused by an earthquake. But could it have been something else?
Can you pitch to me?
Could the Israelites have possessed advanced sound wave technology? If so, where did it come from?
The idea that some kind of sonic weapon was used to destroy these huge, thick, ancient walls to allow the Israelites to basically...
That's the target. Come over here.
So what kind of technology were they using?
No. Go to the other side, Bozo.
There is little doubt that the Ark of the Covenant was a weapon. It was described as a weapon. Famously, when the Israelites crossed over into Canaan,
what is this?
Passed by Jericho.
Yeah, I'm following this. The fall of Jericho and everything over there.
Technology.
What is suggesting that maybe that, in ancient times they might have used some sort of sound wave technology to bring down the walls and everything, demolish, bring everything down. For demolition. I'm focusing. I'm multi-focusing right now. I got this going on, that, and I'm still here, man. Come on, man. I'm multi-talented, man.
I gotta take a mean piss.
I gotta take a piss. I gotta take a piss.
Yeah, what up?
I haven't pissed in hours. I just realized that.
But if, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest, early civilizations had been able to harness the power of sound for destructive purposes, could there be evidence that such technology might also
have been used for a constructive purpose? Might it help to explain the existence of mammoth stone?
Keep going. Come.
Ancient structures all around the world. Mayan structures, pyramids, Greek temples. You see all this in the blocks that are just enormous.
Mark. So what happened?
What's going on?
I have no idea, but it's about alien tech.
Can you tell me what happened? What the yo?
They were just about to describe the sound waves and the sonic booms of the Mayan civilization. Press play, please.
Read. When all else fails, you do that voice.
Read.
Nobody wants to hear me.
I do. Read it.
Even giant cranes would barely be useful to lift some of these really large stones, such as the stones in Baalbek in Lebanon, where you just have mind-bogglingly huge stones that weigh, in some cases, over 1,000 tons.
That was actually really good.
But just how could ancient man have built such colossus?
Why can't you just ride with it?
And it's just the narrator. You know his voice? You gotta do the narrator.
Come on!
It's over, man. I give up. I quit.
You just got the job, bro. Give me one right down the pipe so I can jack it.
I met a man in Chicago. We were waiting for a train.
He asked where I was going. I explained. I'm searching for the one thing that's true and real and rare. And he said, that's a long way to go unless you're already there.
Yo, this is so wild.
It's good. You're killing it right now. Keep going. Good. Keep playing it, please. Play the rest of the episode. Wait, how far are we through it?
14 minutes. 14 minutes in, my God.
Yeah, keep playing it. Narrate it.
There's some water.
Mark, you should actually narrate this whole thing. Keep reading. Go ahead.
This system is an acoustic positioning device. And what happens inside, we create an acoustic force field. The force field is pushing everything toward the center.
And the force field can rotate. The force field can oscillate. This ball is fairly light material. It's about 10 grams, no more. It's meant to be light. But if you want to move a very heavy object, a large object, we really have to develop in conjunction with the acoustic positioning devices, anti-gravity device, because acoustic position device really meant to the tuning of the force field. But the system must be force-free, otherwise it won't be budged. It won't be budged. But is it possible?
It won't be budget. You don't want it to be budget. Right?
You don't want it to be budget.
No budget.
But is it possible that early builders had access to the kind of acoustic technology that would allow for the transportation and careful placement of megaton boulders and stone blocks? Ancient astronaut theorists believe clues can be found in the myths and tales of magic handed down throughout time.
There are many ancient legends which suggest that some of the monuments were built with the help of acoustic levitation. What the local legend of Stonehenge talks about is that those big stones were transported by way of levitation by none other than Merlin the wizard. And he had a magical rod with which he pointed at the stones, and they would levitate very fast.
Listen to this. Merlin the wizard levitated these stones at the Stonehenge. Do you remember when we drove over there? We didn't go in. We drove all the way out to the Stonehenge. And there was a line, and he's like, nah, I'm not going in. We just watched it from a distance. Do you remember that?
I do.
We almost visited the Stonehenge. We were there. We almost visited the Stonehenge.
That's a very fascinating story because we know that some of these stones have been transported there from as far away as 200 miles. And ancient legends are a bridge to finding what truly happened in our past.
He would levitate these magical, mythical stones in place.
Why would you say like S or C? You have to go place.
Create effects in the physical realm. To me, it makes complete sense that the use of a wand of some kind.
Don't break the hook stick. Or drug.
That human beings, even 100,000 of them, could pull these things. They've done experiments by putting hands around blocks. You can't get enough hands in there. You can't get 200,000 hands to lift a block. And once you roll it with all these people, how do you move it? I think the technology had to do with some kind of sound, and they were able to just come up with some anti-gravity and just move them into place.
But did ancient aliens using anti-gravity and sonic levitation technology help early humans build the ancient wonders of the world?
Well, everything is possible. We have no way to rule in or rule out aliens because human technology is very primitive at this stage. And you look at Earth has only survived 4 billion years. But there are planets billions and billions of years ahead of us. Their technology and their knowledge can be so far ahead of us that we can't even imagine.
Flying saucers. UFOs.
Flying saucers. UFOs.
All right, Will, I need you to go to Coney Island. Pick up a couple of dogs.
Mysterious crime.
All the fixings.
Yeah, it's taking 95 if you get there.
But according to ancient astronaut theorists,
95 South gets you everywhere, right? You can drive from Canada to Miami, Florida. Yeah, down 95 South, you know, just pushing my rig. That's a life, driving one of those semis. You gotta sleep in that little compartment. Those guys do some serious crank. I don't even know who knows. Yeah, all in a rig down the 95 South. Let's tune in to Shade 45 right now.
They told me to take over, so here I'm taking over. Ancient Aliens, Viceland. This episode,
Guatemala, Central America. According to most mainstream scholars and archaeologists, the earliest human settlements in this region date back over 14,000 years. Here can be found numerous ancient artifacts, and among them is
That's
this
a
one,
sick skull.
the figure of a man lying inside what appears to be...
That's how Hal lays down.
That's how he watches Top Gun.
This is according to
He
legend.
watches action movies on his side.
Giant flying press.
Yo, what's the movie tonight? He just slides into positions like that.
Body of this turtle. And if you look closely, it's as if there's some modern day fighter pilot glasses or goggles. This right here is from the same culture, from the same region, so they knew exactly what a turtle looked like. It looks like a snapping turtle. And what we have here, that is everything but a turtle. It's something else.
The turtle has a shape that's similar to that. It's rounded at the top. It's kind of circular.
Plus, turtles have been around for so many years and they live so long that it's like an unexplainable lifespan. Like we can't really
Ancient.
Yeah, they really are ancient animals. We think
Ancient
about it. They've been
species.
around
How far have they been around? How long?
Thousands of
Types
years.
of dragons.
You know that for a fact?
No, I don't. But for a fact, I do know that they cannot, say exactly when.
Nobody knows how long turtles have been here.
Long.
Is that a fact? Nobody knows how long turtles have been here?
Many, many, many thousands of millions of
I
years.
remember hearing about turtles when I was a kid.
Has anyone ever seen a baby pigeon?
A pigeon?
No.
Well, nah, you don't see baby pigeons.
in the Bronx.
That's true, though. Never seen one.
But although aircraft propulsion by means of gravity manipulation is beyond the limits of current technology, many scientists claim it is theoretically possible. In Davis, California, inventor Dr. Paul Mahler tests the boundaries of real-life science with a recreational flying vehicle called the New Era.
Well, one of the big advantages in this kind of round shape is that you end up with the strength in the skin of the vehicle itself, much like the shell of a beetle. This airframes you see over here next to this vehicle, which are similar to this, weigh only 75 pounds apiece, which is incredible. You got a complete airframe that's capable of lifting 1,500 pounds with a 75-pound shell.
But could the...
I remember Benzino had one of those at the Funk Flex car show.
What?
A UFO.
For real?
Yes. He was parked outside. He said they wouldn't let him in. He was mad.
A UFO in the
He had a
car.
UFO in the parking lot. He had a spaceship.
I don't think they said why they built that one, but I would imagine they wanted to see if they could find a connection between anti-gravity technology and extraterrestrial visitations.
For sure.
Merritt Island, Florida, the Kennedy Space Center. 6 Earth astronauts sit atop NASA's Endeavour space shuttle.
Alien tech. Alien technology.
Pew, pew, lasers.
I urge everyone to be part one day of a rocket launch because it is a life-altering moment. When you stand there, a few miles away, you can still feel the power as that rocket takes off into space.
You know when they break off from the thing that, like the engine, where does it go? Just stays in orbit?
No doubt.
And it comes back. What are you talking about?
You know, there's a shuttle and then at some point it breaks off?
Yeah, the rocket and the shuttle.
What happens to the rocket when it breaks off?
He comes back.
To Earth or it just stays floating in the atmosphere?
To Earth.
Yeah?
It hits the floor somewhere.
I don't think so.
You think it's a one-time use?
I think it lets go once it's already in like orbit. Like when
And where does it go?
Past, it floats into the matrix with the rest of the junk.
It's just float now.
You think it lets go once it's past within orbit still?
Yes. What do you mean within orbit? What does that even mean?
Like once you get past
where it's trying to let him off, yeah, he lets off and he goes where he gotta go, back to Earth.
So it's within the field of gravity once they let go of it, so it comes back down to Earth?
Bro, I have no idea.
All right. Just curious. Look into that. I'm just kidding. Go for it.
There is no doubt that if we thoroughly investigate this planet, they will find that this planet may have already been to the moon way before we went to the moon with a man in 1969.
I think in ancient times there were people who had encounters, and however, I think the way they might have been reported would have been in
It's a crazy scene right there.
ways that would have made sense to them.
It is wild. What was it? What's going on right there?
That's an ancient aerial battle. That's what that is. That's a battle in the air. Indians have, like the Indian culture has some of the most epic aerial battles and mythical things going on out of everybody. A lot of the reason why that red dot is right there, it's that third eye, it's that chakra. I don't even know if that's true, but I just assume that they're awoke, you know? It's their consciousness.
Thank you, sir.
If anything, it makes great artwork. Right?
Yeah, whatever.
Exactly, it's hot.
These stories of dragons flying through the air. They make a lot of noise and smoke comes out of them and fire, just like a rocket.
Exactly, it's hot.
Alien technology. Alien technology.
The first emperor of China ascended in a fiery dragon with smoke and fire. And whenever that dragon appeared, the earth was quaking. Now, of course, it wasn't a dragon in a biological nature, a living being, but it was a misinterpreted machine.
It's in all these different cultures and all these different texts, man.
They were all described.
Dragons, and what he's talking about is true. These rumblings and fire and smoke. I mean, it makes you think, like, what is really happening here?
I know what you're saying, like
ancient situations where there's always rumbling, there's always some sort of craziness. There's
the
always
way you describe things was always chaos.
Some sort of catastrophe,
always
exactly.
some chaos, flooding.
Exactly.
Like,
There's
so
always some.
I know what you mean. But you know what I think too? Like sometimes they've over-exaggerated things. Remember?
Well,
like back in the day, they used to think like lightning and thunder was like the gods throwing down, beams. So they could have misinterpreted a storm for some type of godly thing, you know?
Well, what is a storm?
But what I'm saying is that back in the days before they knew what things were, it could have just been some type of, you know what I'm saying? They could have mistaken like some type of, I don't know, some type of a storm for some type of like, godly thing or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we just like, yo, listen, man. We don't know about the dragons right now, but it's raining outside pretty hard. It's mad cloudy out. This reminds me of dragons. Boom. Well, actually, rockets, what?
Well, it's misinterpreted technology.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
he's saying that the people are mistaking these spacecrafts for, they're depicting them as dragons.
Something was flying.
Some sort of correlation. Something was flying for sure.
Something was flying.
There's no doubt something was flying. Animals fly, but nothing like that. Huge things that are on fire. Come on.
Well, chariot of fire to me seems very clearly like it's some sort of rocket, probably burning its retros as it lands somewhere in ancient Greece.
In the Old Testament, we can read about a glowing furnace that descended from the sky. And sometimes this glowing furnace is described as a chariot of fire or as the glory of the Lord. So there are all these different descriptions, which in the ancient astronaut opinion, describe ancient rocketry.
From 5000 to 2000 BC, southern Mesopotamia was home to the Sumerians, a highly advanced civilization considered to be among the first astronomers.
Did they have any type of writing at this time when they were doing this art? Like they could write words or some type of thing? So why don't they just write these things are flying? These we don't, you know what I mean? What is it making it so gray area for? Can they just spell it out instead of drawing some shit so people could misinterpret it? It would have never worked. It was secretive. All right.
Still a little cramped.
Can I get some water, please?
Regarded as one of the oldest written stories in history, the Epic of Gilgamesh, told of a man's journey to the heavens to meet the god.
Thank you, Gilgamesh.
The Epic. The Epic of.
Flies over the earth.
I almost blacked out.
And he describes how the earth looks from above. Fascinating. An old story of the first flight.
The most ancient civilization that we have on record, the Sumerian culture, has left us evidence of what's called a shem. And this object looks very similar to a modern-day space capsule that we place on top of a rocket. And this shem is where priests would go into the shem to interact with the gods, or anytime man is ascending. So it's a very interesting term, used from a culture dating back to 3800 BC, and very clearly matches the descriptions of a modern-day rocket.
You want to dab?
In the 1st century AD, nearly 2,000 years before the Industrial Revolution, a Greek mathematician...
Yo, you're weird, man.
...who created a steam engine he called an holopile.
Freak show behind me.
The ancient world.
Alien tech. Alien tech. Alien tech.
It's fine.
Welcome back. John Robert Tyndall, founder of Tyndall Vision Laboratories, demonstrates a small-scale replica of Hero's Eola pile.
A conventional steam engine that we think of has pistons that get its power, but Elipile uses these opposing jets. Your fashion
Turns the game off.
Rotational effect. Now this is operating much as it did in the 1st century AD. This is generally
which one did you hit already?
Be the first working steam engine.
Look at this guy.
More like a turbine than a classic.
He looks like he dabs.
But it's very significant because it really is taking gas and turning it into energy. Wow!
I think he's taking a dab.
The name for Hero's steam rocket engine, Eolipile, translates to the ball of Aeolus. In Greek mythology, Aeolus was the god of the winds.
Yo, you should just put the game on and let us talk shit about the game while this is playing.
Let's just see if it matches up somehow.
Or might he have had help from the gods themselves? Some have suggested that it was alien intervention, that aliens taught him how to build this machine. However, I'm leaning more towards the idea that he looked at older texts from previous generations and that the source of the idea of how to build this did come from extraterrestrials, but from way before he was alive, and he just came across those texts.
This motherfucker needs to stop flopping all around, man. He's acting like a pussy.
Worldly devices found in ancient texts.
He's from New Zealand. What the hell is he doing? They're supposed to be warriors.
Extraterrestrial encounters in the distant past.
He has his taped behind him.
Will be discovered in an unlikely place.
Wow, early time out. They just jammed it. Are you kidding me? OKC is back? They're not playing games. They might take this one, huh?
They are.
Dion Waiters is shooting threes like an animal.
Carried out U.S. Navy. Firing from a warship at a distance of nearly 2 miles. A ray of intense laser energy burns through targets traveling at speeds of more than 300 miles per hour. But is it possible that such so-called death rays could have been used before? Perhaps in ancient times.
I'm quite convinced that there have been, in the past, advanced civilizations on Earth that did have such things as the so-called death ray. Whether it was used as a weapon or whether it was just observed being used is a very, very open question.
In 214 BC, Greeks living in the Sicilian city of Syracuse prepared for an attack by a fleet of Roman warships. Though outnumbered by a superior military force, ancient texts suggest that Syracuse was well defended by a mysterious and powerful new weapon.
Probably the most famous ancient death ray was the one that was built by the Greek inventor Archimedes. He was able to create this giant mirror and parabolic disc and focus the sun's rays on the fleet and set these ships on fire. So here we have what would be a primitive kind of death ray that really worked.
Yo, sit the f down, man. Shut the f up.
How could Archimedes
Damn it, death ray.
such a formidable weapon, one far in advance of any known time?
Researchers death ray? Death ray.
Strong inspiration from Greek myths written nearly.
I'll eat some cha-cha chicken and hit you with a death ray.
Myths that told the stories of gods that brandished cosmic weapons of incredible destructive force.
If you look in the Greek tradition, they have a very clear...
Oh, shit. Looks like Bronson. Look like Bronson.
He was able to point at people or at...
Oh, shit.
He wanted to explode, hit the button, and what they described as lightning would come out and create a fierce and terrible explosion.
Isn't there Indian food somewhere?
Would you come down?
It's ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. In this flurry of thunder and lightning and then get out of their spacecraft, they were perceived as gods.
Diadjari, Evrion Isatin, Ezri Kunstuf, Of, Itin Kirmai Mom Kalin, Botarin, Love, Action Bronson.
So my name is Knuckle. I'm here from Badmash in downtown LA.
Unbelievable.
Let's see.
Unbelievable.
But if death ray type weapons had been used in ancient times, might there be some sort of tangible proof?
Perhaps there is. Here, scattered throughout the Scottish countryside, can be found numerous ancient ruins. Many appear to have been forts or other enclosures dated back thousands of years. Remarkably, they also appear to have been subjected to fire and heat so intense it practically turned the stone structures into glass. It is a process more scientifically known as vitrification.
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 Vitrification. Vitrification is the process of heating rock to the point past 1,000 degrees Celsius, in which it turns into glass.
Why is it that so many of them are concentrated in this one little area?
Conventional heat cannot do that.
I believe this is very clear.
Conventional methods of making love kind of bore me. You know what I mean?
Celtic legend.
So I'm sweating profusely.
Also known as the Shining One, the sun god, and the god of war. Like the Greek god Zeus, Lou was said to wield a mighty magic spear, not unlike the thunderbolt.
Your teeth shouldn't be on the microphone.
Play a song. I'm going to sing the rest of this.
Let him sing the rest of it.
Ancient alien song break.
Great damage is an extraordinary weapon. You don't have a great deal to declare about it, but it clearly can dominate.
Sing it.
No, it's over.
Just sing acapella.
According to Celtic legend, there was once a guy named
Celtic.
Celtic, man. Celtic, the Boston Celtic. The Boston Celtics.
They're actually the Boston Celtics.
Amazing weapon. I mean, how else can we explain all those numerous vitrified forts where the surface of the stone is as smooth as glass? And these spots can only be found in very concentrated areas through northern Scotland.
Is it possible?
I've been all through Scotland, and it gets weird out there, I'll tell you that much. It gets weird out in Scotland, man.
In possession of a devastating weapon.
It is merely a reinvention of history. That all the stuff that we have today has been around before, and that our past is not science fiction, but science fact.
deadly laser beams, acoustic levitation, anti-gravity. Could these be technologies that were witnessed and even used by ancient civilizations? If so, were they conceived in the minds of early man? Or did they have different, perhaps otherworldly origins? Might unlocking the secrets of these inventions be the key to discovering our ancient past and to the limitless potential of the universe beyond?
Whoa. Wow, that was a strong episode. It was, right? Not gonna lie.
That was actually one of my favorites. I really like it when he reads anything. As long as he reads, it could be whatever.
He has
Bring out Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, he has a great reading tone.
Pass me that sheet right there, buddy.
There's no chance I'm getting that paper. Stuck on the couch, yo. That's why I stay here. Stuck on the couch, yo. That's why I stay here. Stuck on the couch, yo. That's why I stay here.
Thanks, man.
Pew, pew, lasers.
Hello, you've reached Viceland. For comments or complaints, press 1.
We don't need to see moron stoners on TV when you can actually be educating people. Educate people! I thought Viceland was, oh, finally, you're going to be a great TV station that would educate people. And you've gone backwards. Morons. Whoever is please, moronic. Don't be that dumb. I love watching your station up until now. Tonight, it's just so disappointing. I mean, it's... Wow, man. I don't know whether I want to watch Viceland again. If you had to come up with this shit.
Had to get the last bird noise, didn't you?
This is the beginning of a new time, man.
Where is my? I tell you, everybody got a belief.
That's just crazy. Ancient aliens is pretty much the best thing that was ever created by man. Traveling the stars, Saxon Ross and ancient aliens for a limited time only.
What is this episode about?
Alien tech.
Anything else?
Alien technology.
Pew pew lasers. Sonic booms. Cyborgs.
Something wrong with this kid.
Rockets, hurling space probes deep into the cosmos. Sound waves, compelling solid objects to float in midair. Laser beams, vaporizing targets with pinpoint accuracy.
Big Body is back. Ladies and gentlemen, to the viewer watching at home, Best Nick is back. Light it, light it, light it, light it, smoke it.
How could they have had these advanced weapons?
Under attack by pirates in the waters off the coast of Somalia.
Pirates.
But the Somali bandits were successfully repelled by...
That's why I don't go swimming in Rockaway. Gotta watch out for pirates. Yeah.
Along with an acoustic device, or LRAD.
LRAD. LRAD.
Corporation.
It's really pronounced Larad.
Focused on
like you could be a rapper.
Piercing sound that can exceed 150
skater.
Atomic weapons in Iraq. They're used in crowd control.
There's a fly who's just on top of one of your rigs right now.
Person that make you feel sick.
See it? No, it's gone.
Is currently used by law enforcement, the military, and private security, and is considered the ultimate in sonic weaponry.
You ever heard one of those, buddy? Nah, I haven't. Nah. They set off like a sound wave.
I have.
They set that off?
They did that shit to me in Portland.
For real?
Try to
hit you with the sound shit.
That we've only just acquired ourselves today.
Millions of people around the world believe we have been visited in the past by extraterrestrial beings.
Yo, I'm stuck.
Did ancient aliens really help to shape our history? And did mankind's cutting-edge technology spring from our imagination? Or could it have come from a source much farther away?
Yeah, I'm interested in this one. No, for real.
It's the same intro every time, dogs.
No, I'm interested in this episode, though, because that's what I said. Where did we get fiber optics?
Oh, I like that question.
Where did we get all this computer shit?
Oh, I like that one, too.
I'm serious.
I know.
I wonder.
You're right. The iPhone always has a new one.
Like, where did we get all this technology?
In the early morning hours of November 5th, 2005, the luxury cruise ship, the Seabourn Spirit, found itself